Alright, so now it's time for our Teamfight Tactics patch notes. So we got Teamfight Tactics patch 16.8. Now, this is the last patch for Lore and Legends. I loved Lore and Legends. I actually never got bored of it. I even played a lot of Chonk's Treasure this time, but it's on its way out. This is our last patch. I expect it to be a for fun patch. And after we take a look at this, we'll take a brief look at some of the stuff in the new set. You guys know me. I prefer to remain completely blind and go into new sets blind, right? So I might not actually even look at anything new. I really, really want to go into the next set blind. That's just what I do. But anyway, we're going to take a look at our patch notes. This is a lot of changes. I feel like this is probably a for fun patch because they just buffed everything. This is what they do at the end of every set. It's just a huge for fun patch. So we're just going to breeze right through it. Have a good time. Unlocks Aurelion Soul. 5 unique Targonians. 4 unique Targonians plus level 7. Why not? So you don't need to hit Taric or unlock Diana. If you hit Taric early, you can easily do Aurelion Soul. If you don't hit Taric early, you can unlock Diana with your Leona and still get Aurelion. You don't have to do both now. Great. Zahin, field a 3-star Xinjiao for 5 combats. Field a 3-star Xinjiao in combat plus level 8. So now you no longer need an augment to unlock Zahin. You just need 3-star Xinjiao and level 8 and you unlock Zahin. Darkin 3, health restore. A little bit less, but the damage is more. Gunslinger AD gain, 22 to 40. It's now 22 to 44, so a little bit more. So you can go vertical Gunslinger. Yordle 3-star multiplier, 120%. Why not, man? Make Yordles viable, make 4 Gunslinger viable. Anivia, buffed, more damage. Blitzcrank, more HP. Jin is now a long shot. I feel like he should have been a long shot in the first place. And he does more damage. Jin really wants to be a reroll carry. I don't know why that's there, but reroll Jin. Let's do it. Lulu, mana buff, stun duration less. Okay, so she gets more casts, but the actual stun itself is a little shorter. Half the duration, in fact. Shen, more HP. Sona, more healing. Bard. Stage 3 rerolls on loss, they reverted it to 2, so now Bard gets a little more rerolls. Cho'Gath gains permanent health per cast. Why not? Why not? So Cho'Gath scales. Graves, they doubled his bonus attack speed from his being paired with TF. Rek'Sai, primary ability damage. Buffed at 3-star if you like Rek'Sai reroll. Twisted Fate, same buff as Graves, an extra 2%. This time to his AP. Units, tier 3, Gwen, new passive, gain Omnivamp. Why not? Malzahar, minus 1 HP. Why? Emilio, primary ability damage, buffed. Diana, primary ability damage, buffed. Singed ability damage, buffed. Armor and MR, buffed. Buffed at level 1. Skarner, passive armor, buffed. Taric, passive MR, buffed. Just buff everything. Except Malzahar. Ornn is now also a Freljord unit. I feel like he should have been already, considering he is a Freljordian god, and Volibear and Anivia are both Freljord units. Mel mana to unlock Radiant, minus 20. I mean, just delete Mel at this point. Zillion Chronokeeper XP, doubled. Really? Aurelion Soul ability damage, nerfed. That makes sense. You're going to see a lot more Aurelion. He's easy to unlock now. Zahin HP, resist, attack speed, ability damage, and AP ability damage, all nerfed. So Zahin gets nerfed on every front because now you can get him every game. Just like with Yone, right? Just like I can get Yone every game. Augments. Battle Bounty 1 is re-enabled. Walk the True Path 1 is re-enabled. Walk the True Path 2 is re-enabled. Trials of Twilight 1 and 2 have been disabled because it's no longer necessary. You can do Zahin every game. You bug fixes. Chonk's treasure has become Chonk's chonkiest treasure. I don't normally read these, but I'm reading it here because I've been playing Chonk's treasure. New opening encounters have been added. Poppy, No One, Caitlyn, Lulu, Twisted Fate, Ornn, Nico, Tomkinch, Garen, and Golden Chonk. Neat. Chonk shops. Chonk now has a 2% chance to appear in the shop. These are absolutely critical to gameplay, but have no impact on your board's power. Or do they? No, they definitely do not. Or do they? No, they do not. But you can collect enough of them to receive a super secret message. I will buy every Chonk I see. Revival Festival of Beasts. I have not been playing Festival of Beasts, so I really don't care. But yeah, there you go. We just went through it real fast because this is the for fun patch, right? Like I said, a new set is on the way. We will be taking a separate look at that. Let's just get ourselves a little sneak peek. They had a cinematic which we saw already. Here we go. The TFT dev drop for Space Gods.
Long before the first...
Matt, what are you doing? That's you. Strike deals with celestial beings. Space Gods is a set designed for flexible play, with a return to our traditional...
Wait, what?
Welcome to Space Gods, the set that will send you deep into the cosmos, where mortals, that's you, strike deals with celestial...
Soraka, God of Stars. Get 12 Tactician health and a belt. Evelyn, God of Ambition. Lose 10 Tactician health. Gain 30 gold and a Brawler Glove. Holy crap. Can I say, this already feels like, and they make it obvious, right? This is Hades. If you've ever played Hades, this is literally what this is. You can talk to the gods and choose between one or the other to augment. So it's like a roguelike. That is so cool. I'm already on board with this set. That is so cool.
Space Gods is a set designed for flexible play, with a return to our traditional roster size, splashable units, and an emphasis on adapting to game states that are...
Of the game, 2 of our 9 gods will appear, greeting you and letting you know early on just what Space Gods are contending for power. That's important because instead of Carousel, you'll be selecting an offering from one of the gods, and a less powerful generic one from Pengu, who's a god in our eyes, to say the least. In the realm of the gods, you'll be able to participate in drama on a galactic scale, choosing which god is your favorite.
Better together. Gain that Tactician health if at least 5 players choose this, gain 3 gold. Gain around 2 costs now and after each player combat until you lose 1. Dude, it's literally Hades. That's so cool. That's so cool. I loved Hades. I loved it. Dude, oh my goodness.
But I'd recommend choosing based on how helpful their offerings are for your game plan. Once you've chosen your god and offering, you'll also get their relic, which represents your fealty and follows you around, letting other players know to whom you've made your allegiance. And regardless of who you picked as your favorite, we've always got good old Pengu to provide a more generic, yet lower...
And then a minor blessing. He can give you units, gold, or reforger?
Power reward will be guaranteed for everyone, regardless of whichever god they choose. The Realm of the Gods allows you to power up the way you want, all while witnessing and partaking in a... similar to the Treasure Dragon of Dragonlance, except with offerings that are thematically tied to that god's personality. They're boons, in addition to some other, more general rewards. Each of our gods has a unique blessing they'll grant to their followers, whether that's Yasuo's, which further
Units in Yasuo's hexes gain health and attack speed.
upgrades his hexes, or Aurelian Souls, whose boon offers...
You reach level 10, gain +1 to all non-unique traits? Holy, we might already be following
you a
Aurelia.
selection of quests with powerful rewards. And even after you've picked your boon, your faith will be continually rewarded, with your favorite god returning to their devout followers' boards to provide loot on occasion for the remainder of the game.
So, like, if you stick with one god specifically, and instead of swapping back and forth, picking whichever you think is best at the time, if you stick with just one god, do you get, like, these huge rewards like this?
So many teams came together to make this mechanic possible, so let's get more dev in this drop and invite Isaac, our set art lead, to tell us some more. When we
fire off zaps and create tragic mishaps, uppercutting their target into the moon. Wait, that's no moon. That's a space disco ball. Opposite to the disco glow is the light-consuming black hole that the Darkstar trait creates. As you feed your black hole enemies, it will empower your units. If you're a fan of finger guns, well, you're in luck, because Jin is taking those literally and cosmically. Almost godlike with his ability, Jin's the high spectacle legendary unit of Darkstar, whose galactic finale looks kinda like this. You can cash out your tech for Anima Squad weapons to use on any unit. Weapons like Battle Bunny Crossbow, which will fire a cone of arrows at enemies if you can get enough crits off. Or the Yumi Bot, which
Anyone? Wow, so you can cash out your rewards and use it on anyone? You don't have to keep these units?
heals the wearer and attaches to nearby friends upon the holder's death. Anything for chin scratches, I suppose. While they're good on anyone, these weapons, and Cat, often have specific users that they're the best on, like Rocket Swarm on Jinx. And even if you deactivate Anima, your items will stick around.
Neat!
Anima's not the only trait using tech that you'll encounter in Space Gods. The Mecha trait will transform Urgot, Aurelion Sol, and Galio into their ultimate mecha forms, granting them stats and enhanced abilities. Once they're mech'd, they'll take up 2 slots and count twice for the Mecha's trait. And unlike our Space Gods, our time is short, so before it runs out, I've gotta mention our splashable resource generation trait, Timebreaker. Activate at just 2 Timebreaker, and the trait will give you rerolls when you lose, and XP stored in a temporal core when you win. Once you activate 3 Timebreaker, in addition to its earlier effects, all your allies will gain bonus attack speed. Timebreaker takes learnings from the flex play we love so much in lore and legends. I've covered just a few of our major origins, but in Space Gods, you'll also be able to overwhelm your enemies with baby swarmlings via Primordian, chart constellations of empowered hexes with Stargazer, and deal powerful signature attacks with Nova. And moving past traits, we've also got a few threat-like units that you can utilize into many end or mid-game boards. Graves, for one, is a build-your-own unit, allowing you to constantly purchase upgrades, unlocking tech trees for custom.
I love the threat. I love that trait back then, where it's like one really powerful unit that you splash, you can just throw it into any board. So if you have like a favorite, you just play it.
Customization in the process. And Sona creates commands that buff her allies by telling them what to do and how to do it. Gun Goddess Misfortune will let you choose between 3 unique traits, similar to KO Coliseum's Lee Sin, but as a 3-cost. Misfortune isn't the only low-cost threat-like unit. We've also got utility tanks like Rost and Tahm Kench at 3 and 4 gold respectively to pad out the front line for any comp flexing on the fly. 2 more trade-agnostic 5-cost to end things with, Vex and Shen. Vex is an attack speed focused with 2 more trade-agnostic 5-cost to end things with, Vex and Shen.
Bro, Shen wishes he was this cool. He has no significance in League's lore at all whatsoever. Everyone wants him to be cool, and this is where he shows up being cool. TFT.
Vex is an attack speed focused hypercarry that'll slap your foes around without a shadow of a doubt, but with shadow, no doubt. While Shen is a bastion who will tear through reality by opening a rift, slowing enemies and accelerating allies' attacks. Alright, I've got a playtest to win. Now, over to Valentine to talk illustration.
Pair her with an arena fit for an evil queen.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
On the cuter end of the spectrum, we've got our chibis, of course. Chibi Star Guardian Syndra Spheres will pile on with the damage. And on the eviler side of things, we've got Prestige Star Nemesis Morgana. Pair her with an arena fit for an evil queen. First stars.
I like this arena. Purple's my favorite color, by the way. I love that arena.
Finally, before I fly off, we've got Chibi Battle Bat Zaya, making her mark on the lobby if you're lucky, especially with an all-new dual form boon. After reaching level 7, this boon will unleash a full-screen Mordekaiser ult on your enemies. Then there's Chosen of the Wolf Katarina Unbound, whose look and blades are truly lethal. Watch out for those daggers, they look sharp. Too late. On the cuter end of the spectrum,
All right, so there you go. That was the dev drop for Space Gods. Man, I'm excited already. Just the idea of it being like a Hades, almost like a roguelike sort of deal. Because TFT is already kind of a roguelike by design anyway. You know, it's like auto chess, but then you can augment the board and everything. The augments are always my favorite part of the game, but this mechanic might be even better. The fact that you can choose between gods to augment your board, and they have this little drama going on, and then you can stick with one god and get a whole lot. Oh my god, I like it. I love playing through Hades, so, you know, here we go. Anyway, that's the excitement. So yeah, that was the For Fun patch for TFT. That's the next set coming around in just a couple weeks. Like I said, I'm probably going to go a bit quiet here on the TFT news front, which makes sense. It basically just means you won't see me again for the next couple weeks for TFT when the new set drops, and then we'll do what we did with the current set, right? We're going to have basically a full week of just full streams where I can play the game all day, every day for like a full week, so we can get out as much TFT content as possible. Look for the memes, look for the cool verticals, look for the cool rare stuff. And yeah, real excited for the future of TFT here. So that's gonna do it for me. We might get a couple more Lore and Legends videos out before the season's out. It depends on how I feel. And if anything cool happens, I will actually make a small video on it to say a nice little send-off to the season. But yeah, we're gonna stop there, guys. I'm super excited. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you're as excited about Space Gods as I am. And I will catch y'all in just a couple weeks when it comes out, so we can have some fun playing it together. So until then, I will catch y'all real soon. Peace.